What it do? Yo man, listen. It's my third video today, so just bear with me, okay? We're gonna be covering the biophagus Holland. Tom Holland. No, wait, not Tom Holland. The country of Holland. No, wait, not the country of Holland. It's Holland, the third gene series cult character coming to Tacticus. He's a biophagus. Guys, I know what the name sounds like. We are adults. Stop it, okay? We're going to talk about the character. The character is good. So, the long-awaited xenos healer character is finally here. For newer players who don't know, before this character, there were no xenos healer characters in Tacticus. The mechanical ones do not count. They are unable to heal non-mechanical units. You might be wondering why this is a big deal. It's because legendary release events put a lot of emphasis on having survivability and, in extension, healer characters. Space Marine, not Space Marine, Imperium have access to Isabella, which is one of the best healer characters in the game. They have access to Incisus. Chaos Space Marines have access. Not Chaos Space Marines. Goodness, the third video of the day. It's late. My mind is just going away, but I do want to make it because the character is really good. The Chaos has access to Rothbone, who's like a really chunky character, does a reasonable amount of damage. It's pretty good. But Xenos, for the longest time, they didn't have it. However, Holland breaks that mold. He is a full-on healer character. He's not like a mechanical thing. He does not, have any limitations or anything. He's just, a straight-up healer character that for Xenos, which will be extremely valuable in legendary release events. So let's look at his traits. He has the ambush trait, similar to the other Gene Stealer cult units. When it dies, next turn it comes back up. If there is a blip is, by the way, what's called on tabletop. It's ambush tokens, I know. But a blip is summoned by units with the ambush trait dying, or in the case of Zybia, her moving, or in the case of the Patriarch killing something. So this character combos really well with the other Gene Stealer cult characters, and other Gene Stealer cult characters combo really well with him. His second trait is the healer trait. This lets him heal characters. Now, despite the fact that he's exciting, despite the fact that he actually does unique things, as far as his healing go, it's actually not that much. Because remember, the way healing works is it takes your damage stats and it multiplies by your hits, and that is the total amount of healing that you will do to an ally or to yourself. As you can see, Holland has 1300 damage stat, which is really high. However, he only has one hit. So when he's healing something, he's only going to heal for 3500 health, which really isn't that much. His health is 5000, his armor is 1300, his move is 3. Like, these are all very middling stats. As far as his equipment goes, he can equip a knife, he can equip a Tyrannus crit item, he can equip a Tyrannus crit booster, he can equip Greaves, he can also equip the Tyrannus health and armor item. However, the reason you pick this character is not because of his health stat or armor stat, or even the fact that he can heal 3500 per turn. The reason you pick him is because of his passive. Because this character's passive is truly exceptional. It's called Twisted Science. Units healed by Holland, other than himself, are affected by Twisted Science until they are defeated. Holland can heal other unaffected units, even if they are at full health, very similar to how Actus works. Affected units immediately gain 3000 health, and their maximum health is increased by the same amount. If they are Gene Stealer cults, they also deal plus 500 damage while affected. Affected units cannot gain the effects of Twisted Science once again. Now, I kind of butchered that on the account of the fact that this is my third video in the day and I am tired. However, what this means is when you heal something, their maximum health is gonna get increased by 3000. I understand it's at max rank. However, even at lower ranks, it's a non-negligible amount of health. So healing is good. Overhealing is even better. To some of us, 3000 health might not seem like that much. However, it's important to remember your average character, your average Space Marine has like 9,000 health. So you're giving them 33% more health. And for characters who are, Imperial Guard, some of the Tau characters and whatnot, who only have 6,000 health, you're giving them 3,000 additional health on top of that. That adds them like 50% durability. Or 50% of their health, rather, 33% is fine. Math was never my strong suit. But like this is a really strong ability. And very importantly, it does not specify characters. That means if you summon with Bellator, you can heal the summons, and the summons will get extra health. Now, the extra health is nice. However, health as a stat, as important as it is bolstered by your passives, by your traits, and your ability to block oncoming damage. Something like Bellator, which makes it so enemy damage has to go through the armor stat twice, or something like Barquel, who has that passive ability which like doubles up on block or something like that. Those are abilities that are truly exceptional. And for some characters such as Lucian, who relies on his health being lower than 50% or at 50%, this can make it so his max health is increased, so the amount of health he has to go down to trigger his passive ability is higher than what it will usually be, and make it so like he is less susceptible to just dying to random nonsense. So I am a massive fan of this character. I do really like the passive ability. I think this does have some interesting implications for many game modes, not just legendary release events. The active ability, it's called Aberrant Hypermorph. Now, hypermorphs are like big chunky guys from tabletop. They have a 5 up in low pain, they have a big hammer. I'm not that excited by this guy. So the active ability, the way it works, he summons the Aberrant Hypermorph on an adjacent empty hex. It does not move, however, it attacks if he's able to. He has 7,000 health, 1,400 armor, almost 4,000 damage, 2 movement, 1 physical hit. Like, he's not something super exciting. He does have the ambush trait, and he does have the resilient trait, which do make him exceptionally tanky. Just looking at his stats, you wouldn't really notice how tanky he is. But the fact that he can come back is pretty nice. That in-faction synergy I was talking about. Additionally, he has an ability called the Hypermorph. Now, the Hypermorph, the way it works, it takes how much health the Hypermorph has, and it adds a percentage of that health onto his damage stat. Once again, this combos really well with the biophagus, as he gives him more health, which means he's gonna get more damage stat. It's pretty cool. I really like it. I'm a big fan. It's just, as good as this ability is, it just gets completely overshadowed by how amazing the passive ability of the biophagus is. Now, having a xenos healer in the game is extremely good. The character is truly very interesting. You can tell how tired I am. It's because I wrote character here. This character is truly a very interesting character. I do like it. Now, right now, like, I don't play other game modes as much as I probably should. However, I can totally see implications of having more health. It really does come up. And being a xenos healer is extremely valuable in legendary release events, because sometimes you can't take the characters you want to take. And the fact that if you have more healers makes the, survivability more accessible, because if you don't just have like some healers, the chance of you not having any healers is lower, but with the addition of this guy. So that's pretty good. Unfortunately, this character is not viable whatsoever in guild raids. However, I am not going to get mad because of how good he is. This doesn't bother me because this character clearly has an identity as a healer. His identity is all about increasing the max health of other characters and, creating these edge cases where you can truly do some interesting things in the form of legendary release events, in the form of character HP thresholds for illusion and whatnot. So, I think this is a very W character. I really like it. And I'm just not even going to complain about guild raids because it's just a good character. I'm a big fan. I will be building this character for sure. there's not much to say. I think Nandi also made a video about him. He went much more in depth. He had like a whole Q&A section. So you should also check out his video too. I'll put it in the link in the description, of course. He makes great content. Anyways, thank you very much for watching the video. I really appreciate you doing so. My referral point code is in the middle of the screen. If you want to enter it, you will get 100 Blackstone shards, and it will be a great way to support the channel. Thank you very much for watching the video. Have a good day, and stay safe.